It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Beautiful day out there yesterday. A very nice day so far today. A little bit on the cool side, but quite frankly, I don't think anybody's complaining right now. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Jonathan Dent. You had a nice weekend, John?
Oh, yeah. Great weekend. I'm not one for the hotter temperatures, so this is all right with me, what we've had over the weekend here.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Running a little bit below normal. We should be 79 in the afternoon and 58 at night. Started the morning off a little bit on the chilly side. Get a load of this, Jonathan. Tawas, 46.
Oh, wow.
Elma, 46. Owasso, 48. Midland came in at 48. Gladwin at 44. Bad Axe started off at 44 degrees as well. And taking a look, a little bit closer to Lake Huron, Port Hope, Port Austin, temperatures in the middle 50s. So a little bit on the warm side there, again, because of the warmer water. Activity, it was really nice to see Friday come along. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday with much nicer weather after a little bit of a wet start late Friday night and early Saturday morning. All the tornado activity. Michigan had officially 7 tornadoes, which was the largest one-day total of tornadoes reported in history.
Really?
In Michigan. 5 of them alone in the southeast corner, Wayne County and Monroe County. We were down there Thursday night and listened to the tornado sirens going. So it was kind of a edgy night for a lot of folks down there. And then over by East Lansing, once again, they had some major issues to the east, the Williamston-Weberville area that had a reported touchdown tornado. That was an EF2, which is a little bit greater than, quite frankly, what Michigan usually gets. The exception, Flint, back years ago, when they had what totaled up to be an EF4.5, almost a 5. And then there have been a few other tornadoes around, but very uneventful as far as Huron County, which is where our farm is. I think since 1945, Huron County had maybe 2 tornadoes until a couple of years ago when they had tornado activity in the Port Austin area, north and east of Caseville. So very unusual, but along that 69 corridor, boy, it has just been a wild and crazy summer for a lot of folks there. And travel, for the most part, on I-94 was almost impossible on Friday because of all the damage and flooding and everything else. So really did need a break. Right now, temperatures, yesterday we were looking at upper 60s to low 70s. That was about it. And we had a wind and we had low humidity, which we've really needed to dry things down. What are we looking at right now?
Well, right now we're trying to warm up a little bit. Out at the airport, we're looking at 66 degrees here at Radio Center, also 66 degrees. West wind 5 miles per hour, and it's not too humid out there, 63% right now. So hanging in there.
Yeah, not too bad. Again, where was the wind direction, wind speed?
I've got it west at 5 miles per hour.
Okay. It'll change just a little bit coming out of the southwest as we go through the afternoon hours, and then mostly southerly tonight, but that does not mean that the temperatures are going to warm up all that much. With the help of this sun, and we should have it for the rest of the day, we'll be looking at 73 for a high around these parts. Tonight, it'll be mostly clear. Once again, it'll drop down to about 54. Sun will set this evening at 8:19, rise tomorrow morning at 6:57. Tomorrow, not quite as warm. Now, we're going to start off with some sun, but as we move into close to the noon hour, things are going to begin to cloud up just a little bit. We've got a system that's currently in southern Canada It'll be moving into Minnesota later this afternoon and this evening, and it'll be dragging a front across. The low pressure itself is going to cross the upper peninsula. But what that's going to do is that's going to generate not only the cloud cover, but a chance of a widely scattered light sprinkle, light shower over the noon hour tomorrow. Then as we get into the later afternoon hours after 3 o'clock, that's when the front comes pretty close. Then we're going to see a little bit of a flare up, and we could see an isolated system move through that drops down maybe 4/10 of an inch, maybe a half an inch. But you get a little bit further north of the pathway, practically nothing as far as moisture goes. Case in point, Northern Bay County, Huron County, Eastern Tuscola County, Sanilac County. If they get 1/10 of an inch, that's going to be about it. The heaviest amount of precipitation, it appears right now, it will be centered in southern Saginaw County, and again down in Genesee County, that area, where potentially you could have a little bit more precipitation. But then you get further south in the state, the amount of precipitation drops off once again. So this is going to be an isolated finger system that's just going to go from the northwest to the southeast, follow that upper air jet, and that's what's going to generate whatever precipitation we do get. As we move into the evening hours, there's still going to be that chance of a scattered shower around, but then that chance will really taper off. We'll see the winds tomorrow start off the southwest, become westerly. We're looking about 10, 12 miles per hour. And then tomorrow night, they'll be coming out of the north as that system drops down through 12, 13, 14 miles per hour. And during the day on Wednesday, we'll start off with a few clouds around, but become mostly sunny as the day goes on. We're going to struggle to hit 70 degrees for a high on Wednesday. It's going to be chilly. We'll have a north breeze, 12, 15 miles per hour, and then clear skies on Wednesday night, upper 40s. Now, a lot of folks are going to be very interested in what happens as we move into the middle part of the work week this week, because we're going to see the second full moon for the month of August. They call it the blue moon not because it's colored blue, but because it's the second full moon of the month. The most interesting thing about this one, this full moon is going to be the closest to Earth that we will see for several years.
Really?
It'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20,000 miles closer to the Earth than what we normally see these full moons come. So it ought to be very interesting. And depending on what time you see it, it could be rather large. So the Sturgeon moon was the first one right off the bat, beginning of August. Now we are going to be looking at the second moon. Then on Thursday, we're going to be looking at mostly sunny skies, 72 for a high. So the thermometer is going to begin the climb on Thursday. Clear skies Thursday night, 52. Then on Friday, 78. Saturday, 82. Sunday, 85. At least, anyway, as we get into the Labor Day weekend. Long range to take us all the way through the first 10 days of September. We're not done with August yet, but here we are, first 10 days of September.
Almost done.
Yeah, above average on the temperatures, beginning tail end of this week through the 10th, below average on the moisture. Record high in the state is 95. It was set back in 1926 and tied in 1953. The record low 39, set in 1982 and tied in the flood year of 1986. And the warmest ever for an August the 28th was set back in 1973. Our high was 94. We didn't break the record high, but the low was the warmest low on record of 71. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have, John?
We'll be talking with Gary Kaufman from Star of the West. He'll be kicking off our market report for this week. Then Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. All of that's ahead. But first, the weather today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michigan Corn Growers Association. The Between the Rows tour continues. It'll be over in the Croswell area a little bit later on this afternoon at B&C Gordon Farms. And then on Tuesday at the Ruggles Beef Farm located in the Kingston area. So a couple locations in our listening area right now. The stop includes a catered dinner, input market update, a grain marketing update, and a look at the results of the corn marketing program of Michigan's statewide yield checks. And one RUP credit is available at each event. The events are free, but the corn growers are asking you to RSVP. That way they make sure that they've got enough food to feed everybody. Again, the Between the Rows tour continues, sponsored by the Michigan Corn Growers Association. And while we're on the subject of tours, tonight, beginning at 6 o'clock, the Michigan Bean Commission, they're going to be having a crop tour, the bean tour. It'll be over in the Freeland area at 6 o'clock tonight at Paul Knarr's farm at Spartan Acres. For more information, just dial up mibean.org, michiganbean.org, and get the directions on how to get there. Tomorrow night, they're going to be over in Deckerville at Shaw Farms. That starts at 6 o'clock. And then the Gruen Farms in Huron County in the Seawing area on Wednesday. And for each one of those, you get 3 RUP credits. Along with us right now, Jonathan, Gary Kaufman.
Gary Kaufman from Star of the West. Gary, good morning.
How are we doing, Gary?
Positive, soybeans positive, and wheat continues to trade negative here to start the last week of August trading here, Terry.
We need to plant a fire under those guys.
Oh man, I tell you, it's been just a slow slide in the wheat arena for sure. So yeah, basically, Russia continues to dominate the world wheat export markets. Our demand is not the best, and we're coming off pretty much a record crop all over the place. Lots of bushels of wheat around, and nowhere to put it. So that seems to be the driver of the market today in the wheat arena. Of course, corn and soybeans, we had the Pro Farmer Tour last week, and corn was a little bit less, soybeans a little bit less, and now we're concentrating on hot, dry weather moving forward, and that seems to be giving those two commodities a push today. So
yeah, and we're beginning the hurricane season, and right now, at least one that's in the Gulf. Let me see, it's Idalia, I believe, is what it's called. That one is going to go up the coast of Florida, through the Florida Peninsula, the central part of northern Florida, and then that's going to go out into the Atlantic. So for the folks that have been hot and dry, that hurricane isn't going to help them out at all.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So yeah, southeast has been pretty hot down there, pretty steamy for sure. So
well, it sure is. So Pro Farmer Tour, it's taking its toll, huh?
Well, yeah, it's again, corn acres and yield, we'll see what the final outcome will be eventually, but yeah, the tour didn't do us any justice, and the hot, dry weather seems to be doing us a little favor. So yeah, there's a moving target always for sure, Terry.
So what do you got on the board right now, Gary?
Let's call cash wheat down 7, Terry, at 556 on the white, 501 on the red. New crop for 2024 on the wheat is down 6 at 647 on the white, 587 on the red. Cash corn is up a nickel at 481. New crop up a nickel as well at 433. Cash soybeans currently up a dime at 1378, and new crop up a dime at 1328.
You have a great day, Gary.
I will. You guys do the same. Thanks.
Will do. You bet. Take care. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Doug Klein up next.
Yep, we'll be talking with Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report today brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. This is the best time of year because the new Ram truck inventory is here at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. If you are in the market for a new Ram 1500, Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or a Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, it's time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Market report also brought to you by Thumb Bank and Trust. They've been making agricultural loans since 1895. Farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding, and Thumb Bank and Trust helps you stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, now with 13 locations throughout the Thumb and in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. We say good morning and happy Monday to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. Doug, how are things going?
Well, things are not too bad. Stock market's rebounding just a little bit. Had a good Friday, and they're carrying on with that. The dollar's still above 104, so that's a little bit difficult to swallow. Silver's having a decent run, up a little bit. Or platinum, I should say, is having a good run. It's up almost 3% today. Distillates down a little bit, heating oil and gasoline down a little bit. Natural gas is having a little bit of a bump up, but of course that seems to be a little bit manipulated, so like everything else is. So anyway, here's your numbers. The September corn is 476.5, up 5 3/4. December corn is 494 1/4, up 6 1/4. The November soybeans 1401 3/4, up 14. March soybeans 1413 1/4, up 10 3/4. September wheat is 586.5, down 6 3/4, and December wheat is 615.5, down 6 1/4. Crude oil is just holding pretty steady, 79.81, up 32 cents. Heating oil is 310.13, that's down 5.5 cents. Gasoline is 247.33, that's down a nickel. And I did hear rumors over the weekend that propane is running about $1.39.9 if you call around. So they've come down a little bit on that one. So, but they're still making plenty of money. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. The U.S. dollar buys $1.36 Canadian. That's just about even. The dollar buys 146.41 yen. That is even Steven. The euro's at 108.06. That's up 6 ticks. And the dollar's at 104.07. That's down 8 ticks. Gold is at $19.24, up $12.10. Silver is $24.37, up 14 cents. And platinum's at $975.90. That's up 27.70. So
Doug, you take care.
Okay.
All righty. Talk to you again. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. Vic Huffer is ready to take care of you if you got some questions about that crop that's out in the field. And unfortunately, with base 50 growing degrees dropping off as much as what they have, we're a little short on heat. So your crops might not be responding the way you would like them to be. Well, if you got some questions, Vic can take care of it. He's got some answers for you. Certified crop advisor at Freeland Bean and Grain. Serving you since 1983. Where serving you is their business. And by the folks at Steiner Tractor, new parts for old tractors made easy. All you got to do is give them a call. 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Who do we have up now, John?
Well, we're going to say good morning to Jerry Samolsky from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How are we doing?
For lawn season this time of year, Terry, August 15th is when we like to get in and get it done. It's been pretty hard trying to find enough days in a row to be able to work the soil without, working mud and making a situation worse. So, ideally August 15th is great, but we're good through the month of September. So this week, next week, if we get some drying weather, it'll be a great time to get it out. This morning, driving into work, I couldn't help but see all the dew and the like fog that we had just hanging over the ground. Boy, when you've got grass seed in the ground, that's a free watering, and it just really loves it.
Boy,
Not
it
to
sure
mention,
does.
yeah, I'm mowing my grass twice a week, unirrigated, Terry. And so, everything's just growing great in the grass world. So if you've got a chance to get out and you need to redo something, let's get at it as soon as we can.
That sounds good. Jerry, you take care. Drive careful. Have a great day, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. When we return, we're going to talk to Eric Sawatsky at Yo and Yo Accounting. Eric's going to talk a little bit about crop insurance. He comes along, but first this.
It's time for summer savings on Husqvarna equipment at Allen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City. Save up to $750 off Husqvarna lawnmowers and get a $50 in-store credit. Plus, all Husqvarna handheld equipment is 20% off. Upgrade your Husqvarna equipment now and save big at Allen's Equipment in McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City. See dealer for details. Savings vary by model. Offer is valid on in-stock units only and may not be combined with any other offer.
We say good morning to Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo Accounting. Eric, how are things going on this Monday morning?
Doing great for a Monday morning.
Absolutely. So what do you got for us today?
I wanted to talk a little bit about crop insurance. Some questions come up from time to time about the taxability of crop insurance proceeds. So there are a couple rules that come into play. First of all, crop insurance proceeds are taxable. But the question is, when are those benefits taxable? And there is an option for the portion of crop insurance proceeds that are paid out for crop that's damaged or destruction of crop. So not price changes, but just the actual crop damage. If you typically, as a farmer, sell at least half of your crop after year end, after the harvest season, then you can actually determine whether you want to defer those payments that are made for crop damage. You can defer those and actually pick them up as taxable income in the next tax year. So it's something to look at if that's your normal practice, where you don't always sell all of your crop before year end, and you did have crop damage during the year, got crop insurance payments. It's something to look at. It's not necessarily every time that you want to defer those payments. You have to look at your tax situation, what income might look like in the upcoming year, farm income averaging, and just your general tax projections for the year. But it gives you a nice tool to be able to maybe push some of that income when you lost that crop for the year, to push that off into the next year and maybe delay paying tax on it.
Timing is everything. Make sure you're getting it when you need it, and make sure the taxes are all up to code there. If people want to get some help from you or someone else from Yo and Yo Accounting, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can reach out to us at 989-793-9830, or our website is www.yoandyo.com.
All right. Eric, thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo Accounting. We'll be right back after this.
The seasons change, but the chores never stop. It's time to gear up for fall with a John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Plenty of inventory and thousands in savings, like a 23-horse 1023E with loader for just $17,499. And right now at Hudson, get financing as low as 0% for 84 months on select models. Offer ends October 27th. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. A John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Your fall chores just got easier. HudsonInc.com.
We talked a little bit earlier with Gary Kaufman about some international trade and pressures on supply and demand going on. Well, Michigan Ag Today's Eric Pfeiffer has this report on U.S. trade with Mexico.
The U.S. Trade Representative's office is moving forward regarding Mexico banning the import of U.S. biotech corn. They've established a dispute resolution panel under procedures within the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. Dave Salmonson, Senior Government Affairs Director with Farm Bureau, explains.
This will deal with the issues brought up by Mexico's decrees, which seek to stop the import of U.S. corn products produced with biotechnology. The U.S. believes this is a violation to the sanitary standards provisions of the USMCA and has brought this case.
The issue revolves around Mexican decrees against U.S. corn products produced with biotechnology, specifically glyphosate.
Recent decrees earlier in 2023 said that they were going to move ahead to stop the import of white corn, but would allow the imports of U.S. yellow corn until they could find some alternatives. The U.S. has objected to these decrees all along, saying that they're not scientifically based, and has been talking with the Mexican government all along, but especially ramped up the discussions last year.
In an interview earlier this year with Michigan Ag Today, former USDA Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs Ted McKinney told us these decrees from Mexico just don't make much sense, and Mexican President Obrador should rethink his stance.
There's just no turning away from sourcing a product like we have, particularly yellow corn. And if they want to start transitioning to non-GM, okay, let's get the signals to do that, and we'll happily do that. But then it's so expensive for his people. So he's got to redo his calculus, to be very honest.
Salmonson says a resolution could come early next year, following technical consultations this year.
Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444.
We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, but for now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. A 2024 trial date for former President Trump in the Washington case that charges him with trying to overturn the 2020 election. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The judge issued a brief order setting the trial date for March 4th. That's the day she said jury selection would begin. Judge Chutkan said she took the defense request seriously, that Donald Trump should be treated like any other defendant, but said his proposed 2026 trial date was far beyond what is necessary and risks the real danger that witnesses may become unavailable or their memories may fade.
In the Georgia election case, Trump's arraignment has been set for September 6th. One of his co-defendants, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, in court today in Atlanta.
Good morning.
How are you feeling today, Mr.
He's arguing that a federal judge should take over his case. There's a storm watch in the Sunshine State.
The National Hurricane Center says Tropical Storm Ideli is intensifying and expected to become a major hurricane before it reaches Florida's Gulf Coast sometime early Wednesday. 46 counties are under a state of emergency. Kevin Guthrie is Florida's Emergency Management Director.
We encourage every Floridian along the Gulf Coast to begin enacting their emergency preparedness plans now. Now is not necessarily the time to write a plan. Now is time to action a plan.
Evacuation orders could come as early as today. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
We're hearing from some of the families of the victims of the weekend shooting at a Dollar General store in Jacksonville. The FBI investigating it as a possible hate crime. The white gunman shot and killed 3 blacks. Gerald Gallion leaves behind a 4-year-old daughter. His sister Tiffany says,
he was a loving guy. He was a devoted father. He'd do anything for his daughter. And for him to get up and wake up and his life get ended, it's not fair.
4 major wildfires are burning in Louisiana, including the largest in state history in Beauregard Parish. Mark Herford is the sheriff.
I've been with the department for about 32 years, and I can honestly say I've never seen any fire that looks anything like this, nor near this size.
Overseas in the UK today, big trouble in the air.
Britain's automated air traffic control system crashed around breakfast time. By lunchtime, the airwaves were filling with tales of woe.